I keep forgetting to breathe in videos. Like, I am so exhausted after I do them, and I don't know why. Hey Cutie babes, so today I'm going to be doing one of my favorite videos on YouTube to watch, and a pretty popular one at the time, and it's my tattoos and piercings video. I also want to go ahead and say, if you do not like tattoos and you do not like piercings, please go ahead and switch off this video. I don't want any hate or negativity. It's all about things that are positive and people who enjoy these things and want to ask actual questions, not just say, ew, you're disgusting, that's on you for the rest of your life. So I only have 3 tattoos at the moment and 5 piercings, and I'm pretty set with the piercings, but the 3 tattoos are obviously going to grow because I absolutely love tattoos, and there's always a saying like, once you get one you get addicted, and I think that's a pretty true saying. So I have a couple ones that I want to get, and I want to get them pretty soon. So I'm also here to ask you guys if that's something you want to see, if that's like a vlog you'd like to see, or like a updated video or something. Because I don't know, I love watching those types of videos. It's like, Ink Master is one of my favorite shows. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the piercings because they're the easiest things to do. And yeah, I'm going to do a lot of cutaways to them so you get a full in-depth look. So my first piercings are obviously in my ears. I have 2 holes in my ears, and well, yeah, obviously I have 2 piercings in my ears. And this is probably the only time you'll actually ever see me wearing earrings. I am not really a big earring fan. They kind of irritate my ears and hurt them and such, so I mostly keep them pretty closed, and there's just some occasions where I'll put like a pearl or something like that in them. My first ones I got when I was like 5, so there was no pain, but I was like psyching myself out because I was a dramatic little child, and so I cried. And then the second ones I got when I was 14, and I got them because my sister only had 1 ear pierced because she was trying to change them too early, and she was too afraid to put the second one in because it kind of hurt, I guess, I don't know. And she wouldn't get it pierced unless I got something done. I was like, well, okay, Michelle, do you want me to just do something? And she was like, yeah, because I want to see the pain level. So I was like, okay, I'll just get my seconds, I don't care. So that's what happened, and I wore earrings for a really long time, but then it just started to like bother me. Okay, so then moving on to my nose. So I have had my nose pierced 2 times, and the first time it didn't hurt at all, and I got it at a shop in Boca down here in Florida, and it's called Stroke of Genius. Yeah, Stroke of Genius Tattoos and Piercings, and I got it done by a guy named Dave. Yes, Dave. He's like really cool and funny, and it was 0 pain. 0 pain, took like 3 seconds, and it was pretty like relaxed. And then I thought I was cleaning it well, but I guess I wasn't. I was using like hydrogen peroxide, which apparently you should never do, and Dial dish soap in gold, which is apparently what you should do. And so what ended up happening was I got really sick like 3 weeks later. Like, I just got a cold. It wasn't because of the infection, or like it wasn't infected or anything, and it's really gross. So if you get grossed out really easily, just skip this part. But my skin didn't understand that it was a piercing. It's obviously, it's my skin. It thinks it's a foreign object or thinks it's a pimple, so it wants to heal it and grow around it. So while I was getting sick, it was just like working overtime, and I woke up one morning and my piercing was half covered by my skin, so I had to like pull it out, and it was the most painful thing ever. And I waited like a 1.5 years to re-get it pierced. And then when I did re-get it pierced, I went to the same exact place, same exact piercer, and it hurt. And I didn't think it would hurt that much, but it hurt. And that is because the nerves in my face weren't fully healed, obviously, and then reopening them is a painful experience. Like, my whole face twitched. I have a video, but it doesn't really show my face twitching, but I felt it twitching, and the piercer was like, oh, what's wrong? Like, he was like joking, but it hurt. And then for care, I ditched the peroxide completely, and I only use the soap, and it is fully healed right now, and I absolutely love it. It's something where I think I look really good with it, and that's not me being like cocky or anything. It's just something that helps my confidence. I am not drunk, by the way. This is not alcohol, this is water, because my last video I was drunk in, and I'm really sorry. So now I'm gonna jump into my tattoos, and I'm gonna start with my first one I ever got. I got it when I was 18. The day I turned 18, I went and got it, and it's a heart with some writing in it and around it that is Welsh, and it translates into I like love, or literally it translates into I have like for love. but I like love is how you would say it. Like in French, when you're saying I'm a certain age, it means I have so and so years. So that's like the loosely translated way. Dumb Americans. And a lot of people, they ask me a couple questions and they ask me obviously what it means, and I love to tell people that it's an ex-boyfriend's name and then like see their face and like their disappointment. It's really funny on older people. I'm like, oh yeah, it's my ex-boyfriend, because then they're just kind of like, told you so, like they're stupid to get or something like that. Or like younger people will be like, no, which is really funny. And also a lot of people have asked me the placement of it. Like my professor asked me, like, did you do that on purpose? Like, I'm not insulting me, I'm curious. And I did, and the reason why is because I would used to draw this on my wrist all the time, and I actually drew it like 10 times smaller. But if you're a tattoo artist and if you have tattoos, you know that the smaller the tattoo, the bigger the blowout, which is when like it'll just eventually turn into a big circle on your wrist. So I like complied with my artist. And this is just a reminder that, you know, you're young, and when I was 14, I thought I had my heart broken when really it was just like puppy love, and like it did, like I've had my heart broken since then, and it felt nothing like that. Like I would trade in that for what's happened to me recently. But anyway, so I was just like a reminder, because I became really jaded and negative for a really long time, and it's like I don't need to, because I'm so young. I'm 14 years old. So like I don't hate love, I like love. This is something I should embrace, and it's not just between two people who are intimate with each other. It's between your parents, your relatives, your siblings, your friends, your dog. Like it's just, it's all around you, and you shouldn't be jaded and hate it. You should embrace it. So on a scale from 1 to 5, unfortunately this one did hurt, and it's not because of the placement whatsoever, it's because of the artist. I'm gonna give it like a 3.54, and the reason why was because my artist clearly was just out of apprenticeship, because I don't think he knew that much, and I don't think he really was like, well, like he was just skilled enough, and he scratched me a bunch of times. I know you're thinking like, Sharpie, you're getting a tattoo, obviously it's gonna scratch you, but it actually like, it's different. It means like they like really dug into you or they hurt you, and the lines have just really kind of blown out through the past 3 or 4 years. And you know, the heart's not that perfect. One side is thicker than the other, as you just saw. And it's kind of funny because people will like say like, oh yeah, like it's kind of different. And my aunt told me once when I talked about it with her, I was like, yeah, whatever. And she was like, well, no heart is perfect. So I kind of like use that as a little like embracement of my perfectly imperfect tattoo, which I love. And for a while I was thinking of getting it covered, and the same aunt said to me, if you like it, you should just tell everyone to fuck themselves, which is like so crude, but it really like helped me. So it took about 15 minutes, and the pain level was a 4. So my next tattoo I got at the same shop, which I forgot to mention, but if you are on Long Island, all my tattoos were done on Long Island, and it's called Cliff's Tattoos, and I absolutely love this shop. And beforehand I had done a lot of research on getting a tattoo, and they seemed like the best one so far. And there were other places I went in to get a consultation or spoke to them on the phone, and they just didn't seem helpful. And when the stores I went into, like the shops I went into, they weren't like that clean, and they weren't that helpful, and they were kind of like nasty people. And so I decided on this shop, and I walked in, and I just felt very comforted, and it looked really cool, and all the artists seemed to be really nice. And like when I got my second tattoo, all of them were talking to me, and they were having a good time, and it wasn't like I was just sitting there like, do your job. So the second tattoo is on my shoulder blade, and it's my absolute favorite tattoo ever, and it says regret nothing, and it's in, I think, the most beautiful script it could have been written in. And I want to say, I got it before We Are the Millers came out, so no hate, and mine is spelled correctly. And my tattoo artist was Blake, and I continued to see him for my next tattoo. And it's kind of funny because I brought up my tattoo artist who did my wrist, and he was like, yeah, no, he doesn't work here anymore. And I was like, oh, like, was it bad? Like, he's like, he just doesn't work here anymore. So clearly he got sacked. So that kind of sucks. But anyway, I walked into the shop and I said, I want to get regret nothing in the really pretty script. And this was to the apprentice, and he just goes, oh, Blake. And Blake turns around, and Blake looks like a biker Santa Claus. He has tattoos up and down. has a full beard. I literally looked at him and I was like, you want Biker Santa Claus to write pretty script? Okay. No, like a little bit of a judgment. And then he wrote it out and came back to me and put it down, and my best friend Danny and I were there, and we just looked at each other and we're like, wow, very impressive. So this one took about 25-30 minutes or so. It wasn't that bad. On a pain level, I will give it a 2, and I probably would have given it a 1. Like obviously all tattoos hurt, like it's something penetrating your skin, but this one, it didn't hurt that much. He had a very light hand, and it felt actually kind of good. But the problem is I like to look at what's being done to me, and I would give it a 2 because I wasn't able to look at it. And what the problem was, like all my other tattoos I have, the other 2, I looked at and it made me feel like less freaked out, because a lot of it is just psychological, to be honest, but it did still kind of sting a little. So it was a 2, and it took about 25 minutes or so. And then I looked in the mirror when I got it, and they were all watching me, and they're like, she loves it. And I'm like, I love it! And they all were like joking around. So it was really cool. So then my third and final tattoo is on my ankle, and is also done by Blake at Cliff's Tattoos, and it is a cross. So it's just a cross, like a traditional looking cross, and I added some blue in it and a flower in the center. And this is my first color piece, and I wanted more color on me because lots of it was just black and gray, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. The flower in the center is a dogwood flower, and that is the flower of Jesus Christ, and it's supposed to represent the crucifixion, because the flower, each petal, it's in a 4, and each petal has a red kind of tip to symbolize him being nailed to the cross. And in traditional ways, the center of it is green, but Blake and I were talking, and he said no matter what, people are going to look at it and think it's a shamrock. And I am Roman Catholic, I am not Irish Catholic, so there was no way I was going to do that. This one was my longest. It took about an hour and a half, and also on the pain level, I can't really like say, like the top half was like a 2, and the bottom half was like a 4. And the bottom half was a 4 because it's closer to my bone, I guess. And for the record, I was a dancer for 11 years of my life, and once I stopped dancing, my right leg I could do point really well, and if you're a dancer you know what that means. And on my left leg I started to suck at point. And when I got this tattoo, my foot was pointed. I was like, damn, I can still do point. This was pretty painful at the bottom, and it's not because my artist or anything, it's just because it's a very sensitive and tender spot. And if I've done a good enough job like zooming in and such, you see that that part is the most like kind of needed to be retouched. And I got this obviously because I am Roman Catholic, and I do have appreciation and love for God and Jesus Christ, and it's something that I wanted to get for a long time, and I put it on my ankle because it's kind of a symbolism for he walks with me. And it's just like, before, it's kind of funny, but like before I get on planes, I always step on the plane with my left foot, and it's just kind of like a good luck thing. Or if I'm going into like a job interview or something, it's like I walk with him, he wants the best for me. So yeah, so I am gonna get a couple more tattoos. I'm trying to get them this summer. One in particular I really want to just get because I am absolutely in love with it, and I just cannot wait. And I have it on my wall, and I look at it all the time, and I'm like, I gotta save up for this. I'm so excited. So if you did enjoy this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and leave down in the comments below your favorite tattoos, the ones you like best on me, tattoos I should get in the future. Obviously I'm not gonna get them just because you suggest them, but they're pretty cool of what you would want to see and wear. And until my next video, keep it cuckoo bananas, keep it waves. Okay, Illy, Merp.